I am super excited to have a guest on the line by the name of Harrison Rogers. Are you there, Harrison?
I am. Hey.
I'm so excited to have him on the line. You know, Harrison, I'm 44. Harrison, how old are you?
I am 35.
He's 35. Okay. So I think one of Harrison's first jobs or things that he probably did was, do you remember selling the coupon cards for Waldo's Barbecue back in the day?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that was technically my first job.
You and Jerem Rogers, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we were legal, but thank you for paying us anyway.
So anyways, we made these coupon cards for my dad's restaurant, Waldo's Barbecue. Now you know it as Caldwell County. Actually, Waldo's is still there, Greenfield and Main on Mesa. And anyways, we made coupon cards, and we went door to door selling these cards. And then we gave a lot of the proceeds to Sunshine Acres, which is one of my favorite nonprofits. Sunshine Acres, you got to take a look. I mean, it's literally an orphanage in Mesa that facilitates 60 kids that don't have, a home. It's just the most amazing thing. So anyways, let's get back to Harrison. So Harrison, he has done so many different awesome businesses, just an entrepreneur at heart. And more lately, what I really, really love his drive for is F3 Energy. You guys got to take a look at F3. Make sure you follow them. And I'm super excited about this, what's going on with F3. And not only to mention that, my boy is a skateboarder. He spends every other weekend in California. He's competing nationwide, and his title sponsor is F3. And they've been a big blessing to my boy, Weston, to help push his career. So, Harrison, I thank you for that. Tell us a little bit more about F3 and what's going on there.
Hey, thank you for that intro. And Weston, holy crap, he is our boy for all things skateboard. It's kind of, if you've ever watched or seen Nike Air, you know, Nike, or the player, the character that Matt Damon played that said, hey, we have to go all in on this basketball player, Michael Jordan. I know he's not, a pro yet, but he's going to be the next big thing. Weston is our Michael Jordan for F3 in skateboarding, and so it is super exciting. And when you called me this morning, you talked about building culture and what you're doing and how powerful that is. I'm doing the same thing with F3 through not only what I think is the best product, but using that product to build a community of not only skateboarders but athletes and even CEOs and executives like you and I who want to stay awake with energy, and we drink our vices, whether it's coffee or energy drinks or whatever. But it's been really fun to develop a product that isn't compromising mental acuity and clarity and, anxiety to be able to have the physical energy spike. And so our drink is really designed to not only jack you physically with a cleaner source of energy, but also jack you mentally with supplements that really help you with memory retention and mental acuity and just being sharper throughout the day so that you can focus on whatever your skill is, whether it's skateboarding or just getting awesome real estate flips going.
Yes, exactly. I'm a big fan of F3. Was not a big energy drinking fan, but F3 is actually super delicious, and we actually sell the product also at Caldwell County, our restaurant, and it's seriously super good. So you guys definitely need to go in there and purchase. I believe Weston has a code also for a discount, so I need to figure out what that code is, and I'll give that over to you, Harrison, if you don't mind.
Absolutely, and proceeds of that goes to Weston, so help pay for even more of his travel flights, so it doesn't all have to come out of your pocket. Yes,
there you go. That's awesome. So, so F3 is kind of like your big number one, to me, just from the outside looking in, your drive and passion, and let's just back up a little bit, just from entrepreneur to entrepreneur, to discuss, how did you get into, what was your first business? Let's talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. So seeing the Caldwell entrepreneur, selling the cards door to door, it definitely was fun to get my foot in the door, realizing that making money isn't always You got to grind. And so I started my first company in high school as a carpet cleaner, actually with your brother. I totally forgot that Dan was one of my, I don't know if it was a partner or if we just both were kind of like, we're done with school, but we both, we both were like, hey, we're not too great at this formal education thing. Let's start some businesses. And so, started a carpet cleaning business that started doing well, enough that, made sense for me with, there's no big difference between a high school diploma if you've got all D's and a GED diploma. And so, dropped out my junior year to keep focusing on carpet cleaning businesses that then parlayed to real estate, to Forex trading, where I ultimately made a good living, where I was able to parlay that lifestyle of income to another passion project for individuals with special needs. So then I was able to grow Lexington Services, which is a variety of professional services for individuals with special needs, ranging from in-home therapies and outpatient clinics therapies to private schools for students with autism, which really was a blessing and a blast and passion because of growing up with my older sister who has severe autism and being able to find different things that were working for her and different special services that she needed that obviously other people like herself could benefit from. That's what I've been doing for the last 12 years, and I'm actually right in the process of selling part of those passions of mine to an amazing buyer that can really continue on that legacy of what we built, so that I could parlay some of those proceeds to these new passions of the energy drink, of the Fight League that go together so hand in hand with the energy drink. United Fight League is our new MMA promotion where it's the first combat sports league that provides health insurance to its fighters and shares in the company to its fighters. And yeah, man, it's as you know, an entrepreneurial life. You never know what tomorrow's going to be. So just enjoy the whole journey.
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you for explaining that. You guys, Harrison is just someone, though he's younger, he's someone that I really, really look up to for all the accomplishments that he's done. I mean, he's someone that's just not scared of just waking up and showing up and starting a business. It's funny because the brain wants nothing to do with failure, but the problem is we fear failure so much that we don't go out and accomplish our dreams. And Harrison is just totally opposite of that and an inspiration to me in the entrepreneurial world. And you guys need to take him, for example, as someone that started, 10 plus businesses and rolled them on into the next business. And is just not scared to keep making the jump. Right. And, it's just amazing to me. So
that means a lot. And that means more than you know, but I'd love to just follow that up with, just so that other people might be like, well, I'm afraid. I actually am terrified every day. It's definitely not that I'm not afraid, but I'm more afraid of, looking back on the life and regretting not doing some of these things. That's more afraid of potential small failures here and there.
Yes. It's funny because the human mind is actually programmed to overestimate the consequences. And so that's where your fear comes from. But it's funny because those consequences just aren't as big as like the human mind says they are. So if you can get over that and jump over that hurdle and go and execute, just remember that, okay? The human mind is programmed to overestimate the consequences. And it's funny because we shouldn't do that. And it's just natural to make that happen. But how in your life have you ever, overestimated a consequence or had some fear going into starting a business, but then you made it happen, you started it, and it went really, really good? Do you have an example like that?
Oh, tons. I'm sure I'm not going to think of the best example, but and I'll think about it later today and be like, why didn't I think of that story? But all the time, I've learned, especially this is going to probably not be the best example, but in the legal system, I always think, if I mess up on this, if I mess up on that, legally something is going to be terrible, or I'll never be able to recover because of a lawsuit or because of a whatever. I have been through so many legal battles by now that I've learned, at least through the legal stuff, is there's always a way to settle and make things happen where everybody can come out, obviously not unscathed, but it's not, failure isn't fatal. It's not final.
There you go.
Sometimes you have to kind of pivot and start from maybe a step behind, but don't let legal or other things that maybe you hear of horror stories like, oh my gosh, this energy drink company made a false claim that they were awesome and that they were a healthy energy drink. Wait, they got sued for $1 billion because they said that they were healthy. Oh, I'm never going to say that we're a healthy energy drinker. Like all these different horror stories that are kind of anomalies, kind of will prevent people from taking the first step because they think that their mind overplayed that of a possibility for them. So kind of don't listen to some of the horror stories because there's so much more backstory, I'm sure, that went into those situations. But your personal situation, like mine, can always be navigated one day at a time. Nothing is ever unrecoverable or unsurvivable.
Right.
That's my story.
I love that. What you said just stuck to me, and I had to write it down too, because failure is not fatal. I actually had a big business guy once told me, one of the most wealthy guys I've ever met, is that, hey, you're actually not that good of a business guy if you don't have several lawsuits going on at once. In fact, you look up Starbucks and how many times they've been sued for having claims of having something natural in their coffee when it's actually like chemically made. It's just funny, but you never really hear about that until you look into that. But Starbucks is still open on the corner, and they're going to open up tomorrow, whatever time they open up, to start serving coffee. So you're right, failure is not fatal, and we've got to remember that for sure as entrepreneurs. So, anyways, hey, I've taken enough of your time, Harrison, and everyone else's. I've got to get back to auctions. We've got a big auction day this morning. Super stoked to help people buy some discounted product there. And Harrison, I appreciate you, and thank you for taking a few minutes with me today. It means a lot. Thank you so much, bud.
Anytime. Talk to you soon, brother.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Later, guys.